Hey Loot Now crew, what's up? Today we're diving into a bunch of fresh free games on Steam. Without further ado, let's get down to it. Hey gamers, let's dive into the newest flag capture frenzy that's been turning heads in the community. Picture this, a 5v5 arena where every match feels like a high-stakes sprint. You've got 6 distinct classes. There's the lightning fast runner for those daring flag runs, the steady support who keeps the squad alive from a distance, and a whole roster of other roles that let you carve out a niche. The game shines with its quick, punchy rounds that keep your heart racing. But it's not just about speed. The learning curve is smooth, and once you've mastered the basics, the depth, think 50+ melee weapons, 6 bow types with skins, and a shop full of gear, lets you refine your playstyle. Map variety is a real treat. From samurai castles to Viking forts and sky-high Greek temples, each location has its own feel and hidden routes. Add weather that changes every round, and you're forced to adapt on the fly. That's where the true challenge lies. Online multiplayer is the core, with a solid controller, touchscreen, and gamepad support, making it accessible whether you're on a couch or a mobile device. The developers keep the content fresh with weekly modes, seasonal updates, and new maps, so the grind never feels stale. In short, this game is a fast-paced, skill-driven flag capture staple that rewards both quick reflexes and strategic thinking. Grab a squad, pick your role, and show the battlefield who's boss. Slip and Slime turns a simple sliding mechanic into a full-blown puzzle adventure. Picture a bright, pixel art forest, crystal caves, and a wizard's tower, all drawn with a warm handcrafted touch. You guide a squishy, adorable slime that slides until it hits a wall, then it splats pure, satisfying sound. Every bounce feels weightless, and if you get stuck, just hit undo or reset, no penalties, just pure fun. Over 100 unique puzzles keep the challenge coming, but you can also drop into a relaxed mode and let the slime glide for hours. The optional hard mode tests your patience, while the casual playtime makes it a perfect pickup for grandma or a quick afternoon break. With no text, it's playable worldwide, and the music and sound design add to the cozy, satisfying atmosphere. Slip and Slime is a delightful, accessible gem that will keep you sliding, splatting, and smiling. Hey gamers, let's dive into this charming indie puzzle adventure that just hit Steam. You're Nicholas, a brash young farmer who's got Demeter's blessing, so you can switch seasons on a whim. That's the core hook. Use spring's growth, summer's heat, autumn's harvest, and winter's freeze to manipulate the environment and unlock new paths. The game feels like a 3D Rubik's Cube, but instead of twisting pieces, you're moving pressure plates, swinging pendulums, and timing light beams. Each level feels fresh, with puzzles that layer mechanics until you're figuring out how to make a spring flower grow to trigger a gate, then use that gate to access a winter snowball that clears a path. The visuals are clean and stylized, with a subtle color palette that shifts with the seasons, makes the world feel alive. The soundtrack is minimal but atmospheric, never distracting. Since it's a final year project, the polish is impressive, the controls are snappy, and the difficulty ramps up nicely without feeling unfair. If you love logic puzzles that reward observation and a touch of creativity, this is a hidden gem worth grabbing. Grab it on Steam, give it a spin, and let me know how your seasons stack up. In a world that once mirrored our own, fall thrusts you into the bustling port city of Mangrove, where the carefree lane's summer adventure turns into a high-stakes hunt for the elusive Omega Seal. From the moment you open the 50,000-word script, you're pulled into a narrative that feels like a choose-your-own adventure book crossed with a mystery thriller. The core of the experience is the branching decision at the game's key node. One choice will lead you toward a hopeful, bittersweet ending. The other, a darker, more introspective resolution. It's simple, but the consequences feel real because every character's path is firmly scripted, letting you see the ripple effects of your choice without the clutter of a favorability meter. Lane herself is a quiet anchor amid a cast that's oddly diverse. Zenith brings melancholy, Amber sparkles with fiery energy, and Cressidor, the wealthy aristocrat, injects a sense of class tension that's almost palpable. Their stories are fixed, but the way you navigate their arcs adds depth to the narrative fabric. Visually, the game delivers a polished aesthetic. The art team, led by Pixie and Susu, offers crisp character portraits and detailed environmental textures that capture the city's humid, tropical vibe. Audio-wise, Sinoa and Udio provide an immersive soundtrack that shifts from light summer breezes to tense, atmospheric cues as the plot thickens. The voice cast, Amber, Lambda, Cressidor, and others, delivers performances that breathe life into each role, with standout moments from the Alpha and Lambda scenes. Mechanically, the game sticks to a text-heavy format with no combat or skill trees. That can feel limiting for players used to action, but it also means the story remains the star. The decision points are well placed, and the explanatory panels on settings add a layer of lore that enriches the world building without feeling like filler. Overall, Fall is a narrative-driven gem that rewards players who savor choice and character depth. It may not be the most flashy title in terms of gameplay mechanics, but its emotional weight and polished production make it a memorable experience for anyone who enjoys a good story with a touch of mystery. In a world where every street corner is a classroom and every playground a lesson in life, Anti-Narcomania flips the script on schoolyard sagas. You take control of three unlikely heroes, a sharp-witted schoolboy, a fearless schoolgirl, and a seasoned inspector. Each comes with a unique set of skills: hand-to-hand combat, yo-yo tactics, precise shooting, even a skateboard shield that doubles as a mobile barrier. The game throws you into a fast-paced arcade world where every level feels like a puzzle to crack and a race against time. You'll weave through the Moscow Metro's twisted tunnels, dodge mutants, and outsmart a mafia boss who's been spreading trouble in the city's veins. The narrative is simple but powerful. A drug-free country is threatened, and it's up to you to restore the streets. The missions test your speed, your wit, and your strategic thinking, reminiscent of classic titles like The Lost Vikings. Beyond the thrill, the game carries a clear message: friendship, courage, and the strength of a healthy life are the real weapons. If you're looking for a game that blends adrenaline, brain teasers, and a noble cause, Anti-Narcomania is the answer. Imagine stepping into a Josianera village swallowed by night. The only light is a flickering lantern in your hand, and every shadow might hide a cursed soul. As a royal investigator, your task is simple yet terrifying. Uncover the truth behind a tragedy that turned a bustling village into a silent ruin. The game forces you to rely on sound, smell, and instinct, turning every creak into a potential threat. You can play alone, but the real thrill comes in Coop, where up to 4 friends share the terror and the strategy of outsmarting the cursed bodies. Each item you find becomes a lifeline: a broken lantern, a rusted key, a dusty journal, helping you survive the darkness. A haunting Samuel track pulses in the background, amplifying every heartbeat of dread. If you crave a game that blends exploration, survival, and a slice of historical mystery, this is the one to light up your night. Hey gamers, let's dive into the splashy world of Aquarium Tycoon. Imagine a place where your tiny clownfish can grow into dazzling mermaids, all while you build the most epic underwater park on the planet. From the very first click, the game feels like a calming tide: soft music, gentle bubble sounds, and that satisfying click of a match 3 puzzle that instantly lifts your mood. What makes this title truly stand out is the evolution mechanic. Every fish has a personality, and as you feed, care, and play, they morph into unique mermaids, each with its own design and special ability. It's like watching a living, breathing aquarium that rewards patience. And the customization? Hundreds of decor items, from palm trees to pirate lanternfish, let you craft zones that feel like a personal water wonderland. But it's not just a relaxed pastime. The Tycoon side throws in real business strategy, harvesting resources, crafting souvenirs, balancing budgets, and keeping visitors happy. The global leaderboard and Coop features keep the competition fresh. So whether you're a casual player looking for a zen escape or a strategy buff wanting to run a profitable fish empire, Aquarium Tycoon offers a refreshing mix of relaxation and management. Grab a bottle of your favorite beverage, sink your toes into the water, and let the mermaid magic begin. In the neon-lit underbelly of Prospera, Myth of Lumi throws you straight into a card-battling frenzy that feels both fresh and oddly familiar. You step into the shoes of Luce, a restless street performer, and the goal is simple: win turf wars against rival magicians and climb the ranks of the Conclave. What sets this game apart is how every card is a living, breathing entity, Loomis, that you recruit and command, each with its own spell and personality. The core mechanic is deceptively elegant. You throw cards across a physics-driven battlefield, adjusting angle, force, and timing to create devastating combos. Mastering the throw feels rewarding, and the satisfaction of chaining Lumi abilities together to dominate the field is unmistakable. The visuals are a slick mix of cyberpunk grit and whimsical magic, and the soundtrack keeps your pulse racing. If there's a flaw, it's a touch of repetitiveness in the early matches, but the progression system and the depth of card synergy quickly lift you out of that rut. Myth of Lumi is a charming, skill-based card duel that will have you shouting "next" every time you land a perfect combo. Hey gamers, let's dive into Blind Bullet, a slick top-down shooter that flips the classic action formula on its head. You play as a blind protagonist who relies entirely on sound. Every step you take sends out an echolocation wave that paints the world in color. When an enemy's attack comes, the wave's hue shifts, so the key to survival is watching those subtle changes. It's like a musical score that tells you where danger is coming from. When you get close enough, the wave flickers to reveal the foe's position, and that's when you fire. The controls feel tight, and the shotgun feels satisfying when you finally pick one up. You're not just fighting, you're listening, timing, and dodging. The game keeps you on your toes, and the sound design is a highlight. Every rustle and echo feels purposeful. The story is told through snippets of dialogue with companions you meet along the way. Their clues help you piece together what happened to you, adding a layer of mystery to the frantic action. It's an engaging mix of atmosphere and fast-paced combat. Overall, Blind Bullet is a fresh take on the genre that rewards listening as much as shooting. If you're looking for a game that turns your ears into your most powerful weapon, give this one a try. Song of Nanjiao pulls you into a world where every rustle of bamboo and clink of a pot is a note waiting to be heard. Set in 798 AD, amid the chaos of Tang Nanzhao skirmishes, you step into the shoes of a silent court musician whose voice is the only bridge to a fractured village. The game's core is sound. Each object sings a melody, and you must learn, record, and play these tunes with a pentatonic system tied to the 5 elements. The puzzles are subtle, relying on listening and empathy rather than frantic button mashing. You unlock memories, open doors, and earn the trust of weary villagers by matching their hearts with the right chord. The soundtrack feels like a living, breathing folk orchestra, blending ancient motifs with the player's own compositions. The vertical slice feels polished, with tight controls and a story that invites you to care about characters who have lived through war's scars. What's remarkable is how the game turns music into dialogue, turning every note into a promise of peace. If you're looking for a game that rewards patience, curiosity, and a love for authentic cultural soundscapes, Song of Nanjiao is a gentle, resonant reminder that even in war, harmony can still be found. Hey folks, let's talk about Mazzy, the pixel-style puzzle that's all about rotating your world. Picture a stickman stuck in a maze that refuses to cooperate. The goal? Get to the finish line. Simple enough, right? But the path isn't always obvious. That's where the twist comes in, the edit mode. You flip the entire section, rotate platforms, shift doors, and suddenly a dead end turns into a doorway. The mechanics feel tight. The controls are responsive, and the rotating mechanic is intuitive. Once you get the hang of it, you start thinking in 3 dimensions. Doors become more than obstacles. They're part of the solution. Each level feels like a small puzzle box you're nudging around until it clicks. The art style is charming, with bright pixel colors that keep the mood light and relaxed. The soundtrack is understated, letting you focus on the spatial reasoning without distraction. It's a game that doesn't rush you. You can take your time, experiment, and discover new paths without the pressure of a ticking clock. If you enjoy a game that rewards patience and a bit of creative thinking, Mazzy is a solid pick. It's short, satisfying, and you'll find yourself rotating levels just to see what new path you'll uncover. Give it a spin, you'll be glad you did. Remains pulls you into a pixelated world that feels both nostalgic and fresh. From the first jump, you're treated to a classic side-scroller, stairs, platforms, the familiar feel of a tight, responsive controller. But it's not just a platformer. As soon as you pick up that first gun, the game morphs into a frantic 2D shooter. Every enemy feels like a new challenge, and the sheer variety of weapons and explosives keeps the action spicy. And then there's the roguelike layer. Each run throws you into a freshly generated map with doors that need picking, loot to gather, and a skill tree that rewards experimentation. You'll find yourself grinding for perks, crafting gear, and trading in a bustling economy that feels surprisingly alive. The depth is staggering, hundreds of enemies, weapons, spells, and perks, yet the core loop remains tight and addictive. The developers have wrapped up the base game, but keep an eye out for future updates. Mods are already expanding the experience. Reforged by Coster184 refines gameplay and squashes bugs, while the Extra Bunker Rooms mod by Convenient adds new military bases to explore. Whether you're a platforming purist or a loot-hungry shooter, Remains offers a rich, endlessly replayable adventure that's hard to put down. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you liked what you saw, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe so you won't miss any of our future updates. See you next time.